Shalom Israel. Before I start, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Baharak HaKadosh, double honors to the elders and apostles in Israel, who really teach well, the Akims and Ivers and Buyers of those pushing videos in truth and sincerity, to the brothers and sisters in the truth. And this is just going to be a quick video, watching, as usual, a lesson from the elder, and he brought some information which I want to pass on. But we're always been classed as, a hate group. We don't like this people or we don't like that people. We're always being put down. But then, the people that's putting us down is very biased in how they receive and acknowledge information. Because we teach salvation for our own people, and that the other nations will be going into captivity. And that the other nations will be going into captivity. But then, when these other nations do wrong, like Christianity, we come up against many Christians who have an issue with how we teach the Bible. Some of them say we're into hatred and so on. But then they don't look at themselves and the history that their own religion perpetrated. Now, I want to bring this out. Yeah, this is on the Magdalene Laundries. Yeah, the Magdalene Laundries. So what's a Magdalene Laundry? It says the Magdalene Laundries in Ireland, also known as Magdalene Asylums, were institutions usually run by Roman Catholic orders. Institutions run by the Christian Church, a sect of the Christian Church, which operated from the 18th to the late 20th centuries. They were run ostensibly to house fallen women, and an estimated 30,000 of whom were confined in these institutions in Ireland. It says in 93, a mass grave containing 155 corpses was uncovered in the covenant grounds of one of the laundries. It says this led to media revelations about the operations of the secretive institutions. Remember, this is a Christian-run institution. It says a formal state apology was issued in 2013, and a 50 million compensation scheme for survivors was set up by the Irish government. It says the religious orders which operated the laundries have rejected activist demands that they financially contribute to this program. So even the church itself, these religious groups, don't want they don't want to acknowledge the wrongs that they've done, and they don't want to financially contribute, because financially contributing would then mean they're acknowledging what has happened. And this is what they do. They cover up these things. But yet still, we've not really harmed anyone. You get some bug outs amongst us that do foolishness, and then all of us get tarnished with what one bug out does. But this is a Christian church, and none of these, like, when things like this come out, it's not put on all Christians. It's also, well, that was those people there. But they don't do the same thing for us. They show that these people are hypocrites. Now, I'm going to play this video here. It says, escape from the Magdalene Laundry. Diane Krogan shares an incredible story. Yeah. And remember, these places were run by so-called Christians, which those that come up against us, they don't speak out against these things, but they're more than willing to speak out against what we teach. And we don't really go around harming anyone. All we do is cut them with the word.
When they came out and took it, I went in, but we ran. And that's the last I've seen of her. I escaped from the laundry in the back of the laundry van. The girl who was with me.
Now she says she escaped. It sounds like you're escaping from a prison. And in the article that was reading, called it an asylum. Yeah, these are things that was run by Christians. Yeah, your loving, friendly, next door neighbor Christian.
Went one way, and I went the other way. Diane never got a chance to say goodbye to her friend. No. Sure, we're running. Like, we were escaping, like you didn't, you were terrified anybody would see you, or, you know. So I started off.
And what it is, it was Edomites that were in these places. And, you know, this is one of the reasons why compensation was given. Because our people have been crying for compensation. And, you know, to date, nothing has been given.
Didn't know where I was walking to. And then I walked, and then I came to a country road. And it was a real country road now. And there was what they called them now travellers. We used to call them tinkers years ago. And they were all on the side of the road, like caravans. The caravans that went kind of like that, horse-drawn caravans. And I said hello to them, and like they said hello back, and you know. And I asked one of them. I said, "Could I have a cup of tea? You know, tea with drink. Can I have a cup of tea?" And they said, "Of course you can have a cup of tea, Gerda. Yeah, of course you can have." And I found out then they directed me to go along this country road, and they told me, like, "Where are you going to?" I said, "I don't know, but I want to get out of Wexford." Told them what I did, and they directed me then to go to the next caravan site,
Oh,
But prior to me, actually,
I just want to forward this a bit.
very sympathetic. So then I eventually kept going, but then they stopped being on the side of the road when I got to this village, which I thought was a village, but it was supposed to be something deep in the dormitory. And then we would have our little discussion, you know, and like we'd say, like I'd say to her, and she'd say to me, and that's the way, and we gained a trust between one another. And the two of us we were the ones who was allowed to bring the laundry out to the van. But I was raised,
and what they were doing, they was planning on how they're going to escape from this place. So it's more like a prison, yeah? This is what was run by so-called Christians back in the day.
Never found her. I never found her again, or didn't even know her name, you know.
But their great escape was planned at night.
We were planted in the bed, yeah. Our little beds, you know, whispering, yeah. Whispered all the time what we were going to do. And I gained her trust, and she gained mine. But if anybody else had known about it, they would have told us. Because I remember, like, not doing the sheets straight. And they were a bit crooked, you know. And the girl who was at the other side of the colander, she was saying, "That's not my fault, that's her fault, she's not doing it straight." Do you know what I mean? So then I was the one who got the whack, you know. By not, because, see, I was left-handed, I wasn't right-handed, you know, and they tried to make me right-handed. Where if they had to put me at this side of the colander, I would have been fine. But the fact that they put me at the other side, I had to use my right hand, and I was very bad to get it, you know.
Diane learned to survive by putting her feelings away.
Well, basically, I'm not an...
You say she learned to survive. Now, when people survive, it's normally speaking about something very traumatic or some, you know, very dangerous experience that they live through. And that shows, you know, what these people had to go through under the so-called Christian church. And these things ain't spoken out against. They don't, those that come up against us don't go against the Christian church and bring out these things and hold it to all the bodies who, you know, that believe in Christianity, but make it be one of our people or someone who claims to be an Israelite. Yeah, and everybody gets blamed for it. You know, we're all tarnished.
I'm not an emotional person at any time. Like, I would do anything for anybody, and if anybody needed help, I would give it to them. But when I found out that my mother was dying, and I went over to her.
Anyway, you get the gist. I'm going to play all of it, but these were institutions run by so-called Christians. Yeah, this is Sirach, chapter 1, verse 29. It said, "Be not an hypocrite in the sight of men." Because, you know, you get Christians that come up against us and, oh, we're teaching hatred because we say salvation is only for Israel, so on and so forth. But they don't come against the Christian church for the wrongs that they've done. Yeah, we've not taken no one's land. We've not enslaved the race of people. We've not been doing that. Yeah, those are things that's happened to us. Yeah, by so-called Christians. It says, be not an hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest. Yeah, this is what we have to do as a people, man. This, we bring out the faults of Christianity, the issues of Christianity, and that's what they don't like, because now, whereas before, they would hide these things. When we come across these things, we bring it out, and they don't like it. Yeah, but they're being hypocritical because they're not coming up against their own for the wrongs that they've done. But they want to say that we're hate speech. We teach hatred. Job 15:34 it says, for the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery. And that's what's going to happen, because the biggest hypocrite of all we know is Esau. Yeah, they, white Christianity as that the bodies that goes behind it is innumerable. You get one Jake who might have posted. Actually, you got is an Israelite brother, but is not someone that's in the truth. Yeah, so this guy here posted, must have been looking into the Israelites, is a Muslim. That's the faith that he follows. Posted one Israelite post, went and shot up a Jewish shop, and all of a sudden black Hebrew Israelites shoots up Jew. These people are hypocrites, man. It says, for the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate. This is what they've got to look forward to, desolation. And fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery. Yeah, those nuclear bombs. When it says hypocrites, see what it says for hypocrites.
Strong's H 2611. Chanef.
It says hypocritical. This is what Christianity is. Hypocritical, godless. Because they really don't serve or believe in the Most High. Those in Christianity, they believe in a doctrine that was passed down to our foreparents over the years. And that's perpetrated, generation after generation. And they're very hypocritical. It says hypocritical, godless, profane. Yeah, these wasn't said by Esau. Esau is profane, hypocrite, irreligious. Yeah, this is what we can expect from Christianity. And they come up against us as if we're the worst thing since sliced bread. This is Job chapter 18:5. It says, yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. Yeah, the light shall be dark in his tabernacle. So the light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. Yeah, because Esau, his kingdom is going down for one. Yeah, it's going to be put down by a nuclear fire. And then at the end of their servitude, there will be no more. Yeah, it says, and his candle shall be put out with him. So the steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. So all these things that they're trying to do to us is going to backfire upon them. And everything that they're trying to hide, these are the things that we bring up. They're trying to have us down as a people, for teaching the gospel, for trying to uplift our own people. Yeah, calling us hate groups and all of this. But yet still, Christianity has done so much wickedness throughout all the earth. But yet still no one seems to call that out. Yeah, it says 2 Corinthians 4:1. So therefore, seeing we have this ministry, as we have received mercy, we faint not, but have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty. This is a hidden thing. Yeah, the Magdalene Laundries in Highland. Yeah, we renounce these things and we bring them out into the light to show our people that what they're following is not the way. They say that we're wicked, and we've not harmed no one. We don't condone anyone to go out and harm anyone either. but yet still we're the bad guys. But when you look at the history that Christianity have left behind it, all the dishonesties and so forth, the rape, the robbery, the murders, no one brings it out. And they don't hold all Christianity, all Christians liable for what's been done. Whereas if one so-called person claims to be an Israelite and they do something wrong, all of us is held accountable. Yeah, so this is 2 Chronicles 4:2 says, but I've renounced the hidden things of dishonesty, not walking in craftiness. This is what religion does. Yeah, hides all this evilness, but then they want to bring what you do to light. Nor handling the word of the Most High deceitfully. That's another thing that religion does. It handles the word of God deceitfully, but by a manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of the Most High. And this is what we do. We bring out the truth. Yeah. If our people go off, we speak against it. If Christians go off, we speak against it. But we seem to be the only one that's bringing out these things. Those that come up against us, the vocabs, etc., they don't speak out against what Christianity has done in the past or is doing, currently. It's us, we're the bad guys. But I just wanted to show the hypocrisy of Christianity itself, something that one of the elders brought out about this Magdalene Laundries. I'd never heard of it before. Yeah, and I'll read that again. The Magdalene Laundries in Ireland, also known as the Magdalene Asylums, were institutions usually, so it wasn't always, but usually means most of the time, run by Roman Catholic orders. Yeah, that's Christianity for you. Anyway, with that, I'm going to close out. Give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Wahara Kakadash, Kwame Sha'Allah.